With that down, let's move on and talk about this, shall we? You know, with the brand new DCU happening, a lot of people wondering about Flash. And for a long time, much like when they first announced Brandon Routh's Superman Returns was coming, I still remember when I did the world's first movie podcast, the very first topic we discussed, Rob, was how many fans were wanting Tom Welling from Smallville to be in the new Superman movie. To which we always said, that's ridiculous. This is the Superman movie. This isn't Smallville, the movie. I love Tom Welling in Smallville, but this isn't Smallville, the movie. This is Superman. But much like that, there have been a lot of calls now that Ezra Miller is assumedly not coming back. There have been a lot of calls for CW's Flash, Grant Gustin, to come back and play Flash. And listen, I got to say, I used to love the show. I loved Flash. I thought it was great for the first number of seasons. Hell, I probably even loved it up to season 4 or 5. It lost me after a while. Like it was a show that stuck around far past its shelf life. But still, I like Grant Gustin as it very much. Well, something happened in the last couple of days that is only going to feed that hysteria of some people really wanting Grant Gustin to come back as Flash. Because as it's being reported, Grant Gustin was just at a fan event, a big fan fest sort of thing. And I guess they had some of the cast of The Flash on there. And Grant was directly asked, hey, I watched the video to this. They said, if James Gunn were to cast you in the DCU, what would you want to be? And without hesitation, he said, Flash. I want to be Flash. So now you've got Grant Gustin. Now, what I was kind of expecting to hear was you know what? I loved that time. That was the role that made my career. I remember those were the best years of my life. I loved playing Flash, but I can't wait to see what the new Flash is going to be like and what direction they're going to go. And I kind of expected all that. But when asked straight up, hey, Flash. Yeah, I'd like to be Flash in James Gunn's DCU. Now look.
Who wouldn't?
And again, and you're right, who wouldn't? I would suggest that I don't think this is ever going to happen. Again, this is the new DCU. This isn't CW's Flash, the movie. And while you could bring him in and say, this is a totally different Barry, it's a totally different Flash, you could do that. You can, but why would you? What's kind of the point? Now, look, I'll also say this. If I were to wake up tomorrow, Rob, and open up Deadline and see the headline, official Warner Brothers signs, or DC signs Grant Gustin to play Flash in future installments of their new DCU, I'm not going to be mad about it. I like him. I think he's great.
Sure.
If I remember correctly, the dude married a Canadian Filipino girl, which checks all kinds of boxes for me. So I'd be happy, but I mean, were James Gunn to give me a call, which you know he does often to seek my sage advice, were James Gunn to give me a call and say, John, what should I do about this? Should I add Grant Gustin? I'm going to say no. Not because of anything, I'm knocking Grant Gustin. I like him very much, but we've had his time as Flash. If people wanted to see Grant Gustin's Flash, more than 700,000 people a week would have tuned in to watch Flash. It's time to move on and move forward. But again, I wouldn't hate it if they did it. Anyway, Rob, you saw this story. You saw his reaction saying, I'd play Flash in James Gunn's universe. What do you think about him saying that, first of all? Like, what do you think about him giving that response? And then secondly, what would the wisdom or lack thereof be to actually pull the trigger and have Grant Gustin as the DCU Flash?
Well, one, I mean, I totally think, of course he'd want to be in the DC universe. Like, why not? But I don't think it's a smart thing to do. I mean, Flash is a cornerstone character in the JLA. You know, he's in the Justice League from the beginning. And I think he's going to probably be an important part of the new DC universe moving forward. I think it's really important that for its own identity, I mean, I know we've got Peacemaker. There's a crossover with Peacemaker, which we already have established. But I think that there is a necessary, in order to make this universe work, it needs to have these characters be unique to the DC universe, the theatrical, the new universe that they're building. I don't have a problem with an actor coming in and playing a different role. Like I could see Grant Gustin playing Booster Gold. You know,
he'd be a pretty good Booster Gold.
I know, right? He'd probably be a good Booster Gold if they're going to go in that direction. I could see him doing that. But I think it's important that they have somebody new that's unique for these cornerstone characters, foundational characters. It needs it for its own identity. Otherwise, you're constantly going to be comparing and contrasting, and in the viewers' minds, you want to build something that's new and unique. So,
all right,
sorry,
guys.
Grant.
Question is for you. What do you think about this? Grant Gustin at a fan fest got up and said, "Yeah, I'd want to play Flash in James Gunn's DCU." Do you think there would actually be any potential of that happening? I mean, I don't. Why cause the confusion if it's unnecessary? And Grant's great. Grant's great. I remember his Flash fondly, but I'm looking forward to see Grant Gustin doing more other things moving forward. But do you think it could happen? And theoretical question, but if they did announce it tomorrow, which it won't, but if it did, how would you actually feel about it? I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't be mad at the idea. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.